Hey guys, it's Zach here, and today we're going to check out 88 Films' next entry into their ever-expanding Kung Fu cinema lineup. Directed by Che Chang, and starring Alexander Fu Sheng and Chi Quan Chun, it's Disciples of Shaolin, aka Hong Chuan Xiaozi. Brought to us originally by the Shaw Brothers, and now through 88 Films, this 1975 martial arts movie packs a punch. We have a solid physical release to open up, but before that, let's take a look at the movie itself. Disciples of Shaolin follows Alexander Fu Sheng playing Quan Feng Yi, a young orphan and martial arts expert now on his own out in the world. One day, he finds himself in the hometown of one of his disciple brothers, Huang Han, played by Chi Quan Chun. Our lead manages to get a job working at one of the local mills through his brother, but is urged to keep a low profile and not to reveal his kung fu abilities. Meanwhile, the textile mill industry runs amok in the background, a veritable web of managers, bosses, and more. It's a bit confusing to follow as there's all sorts of levels of business and rings of people involved. I won't go too into it as it's really just a setting for our lead character Quan Feng Yi's story. A lot of false promises, abuses of power, and backstabbing. The competition between business owners is fierce, and Quan is about to be sucked in. Despite his brother's warnings against revealing his kung fu skills, Quan just can't resist the urge to fight, especially when his co-workers are coming home daily with broken bones or worse. So he begins defending his mill and soon becomes the talk of the town and the business world. He's quickly promoted up the ladder, as each threat to him is only a punch away from defeat. You can probably see where this is going, and it's a bit frustrating. The standard too big for your britches, flew too close to the sun sort of story. You watch someone go from rags to riches as they become more and more arrogant over time, forgetting those who supported them all along and losing sight of their original goals. This film is no different. Because of this, the movie tends to drag at over 100 minutes long, and I think it could have stood for a shorter cut. The first half is mostly dialogue-driven, with a couple short fights sprinkled in. I felt myself wondering if the whole film was just a deja vu tangle as scenes seemingly went on, some even identical in purpose and tone. Though I will admit somewhere woven between all the rivalry talk is a heartfelt story about a boy way in over his head. Maybe it's the translation, maybe it's the editing, but there is a story here with a great foundation brought down by a meandering and flat plotline. Fortunately, stick around long enough and the second half of the movie becomes a series of increasingly tense action scenes. Alexander Fu Sheng really gets to show off his fighting and choreography once things get moving. It's almost entirely hand-to-hand combat, but his speed and precision rivals that of early Jackie Chan, urging me to immediately seek out more of his filmography, as I really haven't had a chance to see his kung fu outside of this immediate film. Check it out for some good fight scenes with a tinge of heartbreak. For now, we have a physical copy to look at. 88 Films brings us Disciples of Shaolin on Blu-ray, being the second kung fu film in their newly opened Region A lineup. So, without further stalling, let's go unbox our release. Here we are with our physical copy of Disciples of Shaolin. It features the always awesome artwork of Kung Fu Bob on the front, with all the release information printed on the back. The slipcover has a matte finish, and houses our Blu-ray case underneath. If we open it up, we have our single disc on the right, as well as a couple of bonuses tucked in on the left. We have a booklet as well as a fold-out poster. The booklet features 4 articles in total. It runs 40 pages cover to cover, and contains a variety of photos and reading material woven within. The fold-out poster is double-sided, with Kung Fu Bob's artwork adorning one side, and the original poster work on the opposite. On top of all that, the sleeve for our Blu-ray case is reversible, also featuring the original art as an alternate option. With that, however, we've covered the physical aspect of our release, so let's go take a look at what all 88 Films has included on the disc. Remastered in HD from the original 35mm negatives, Disciples of Shaolin looks great. It's presented with Mandarin and English audio options, as well as 2 newly recorded commentary tracks to listen to. The first is with Asian cinema experts Mike Leader and Arnie Vanima, and the second is with film journalist and author Sam Deegan. All 3 of our hosts have appeared in multiple commentary tracks before, dealing with kung fu cinema. As usual, Leader and Vanima bring a constantly moving conversational feel as they share a ton of information between each other. In her own track, Deegan brings out the analytical research style, consistently moving through a ton of background information on the production, cast, and crew. I'm stoked that 88 Films was able to get both tracks recorded, as it gives us several more options for rewatching the film. With the audio bonuses aside, we jump into a couple of video bonuses to check out. 88 Films includes an original trailer for Disciples of Shaolin, as well as a brand new interview with actor Jamie Luk. who holds a minor role in this film as an attendant for Sing Fa Mill. During this 25-minute interview, Look talks about his experience during the process of joining the Shaw Brothers' extensive crew, from auditions and contracts to the lifestyles of actors and stuntmen during this era in the Hong Kong-Taiwan film industry. He goes on to discuss many of the films he worked on and gives stories and tidbits on some of the major actors he got to work alongside. Overall, this interview is a lengthy but nice inclusion. Nothing essential, but I can't complain. Though this rounds out the bonus features 88 Films includes, I will say the commentary tracks are the star here, as the video bonuses are lacking somewhat. The physical inclusions, however, are great, and overall, we have a solid release for a film that went more by the wayside during its original debut. With that, I want to thank you for joining me here once more in Pajama Theater, and like this video to support the channel, and subscribe for more Blu-ray reviews. 88 Films has some great picks lined up for the future months, and I can't wait for new releases. Until then, thanks again, and I'll see you guys next time.